But in Japanese universities, you don't see anything.
Is there no one who tried to attack you?
No, I haven't got any physical attacks or anything like that, thankfully. Well, actually, one thing I can tell you is like they went after my old university. They pressured them to do an investigation. So actually, at the same time I was doing the lawsuit, my university did like a 1.5 year like investigation whether or not I violated ethical guidelines and stuff like that.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah. So like, and we also, of course, we won that investigation too. You know, they found us totally innocent. But yeah, there was like that kind of pressure, and there's actually other kind of pressure I can't really talk about. But yeah, they are coming at all different angles trying to attack.
Yeah, after all I heard about your story, I think right-wingers are not smart.
In a way, they are smart. And what I mean by that is they know how to attack. They know how to burden me with like wasting my time and my energy and my money. In a way, they are smart, you know? They know how to use the system.
Yeah, that's what they have been doing for a long time in Japan.
Yeah, shit. It's okay. We won, and hopefully, you know, I'm hoping that more interviews will happen. I got interviewed the other day by a magazine and a newspaper in Japan. So hopefully, you know, more people start to know.
Did you see the result of the magazine that you interviewed?
Not yet. No,
Not yet?
no. Not yet.
That's.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I think it'll be okay.
I hope it's gonna be okay. Have you had any moment that you want to give up while you are having a lawsuit?
I'm not really the giving up type. Yeah, there were really tough times, as I said. I knew that I couldn't really give up. One, because I'm in this with my distributor. And also, when you see how hard the lawyers are working, you can't really give up. They believe in me. All these other people who watch the movie believe in me. And I realized like this is a very, very important case. And so although it sucks to deal with this, I realize, you know, I can't give up. So I can't have that in my mind. If I have that little bit of thing that says like, oh, maybe you can give up and just, you know, leave, you run away to America. I didn't even have that in my mind, I don't think. And so
I admire you anyway.
no.
I mean it because you have American citizenship. The fact that you are American, you have chosen to be in Japan, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're a lot less protected maybe, but in also another way, you might be more protected because like if I get hurt in some way or something, then it's big international news, right? And so they don't want that, right? Yeah.
Is there something changed after you won?
In what way?
Public opinion or right wingers, they're not gonna change anyway.
Yeah, from the comments I've seen about people who support the people who sued me, they're just saying like, oh, these judges are horrible, whole system's corrupt and blah, blah, blah. So I don't think they'll, you know, even though, you know, I'm the one who's probably the one, it's more often than not that comfort women related lawsuit usually lose, right?
Yeah.
If anybody has some kind of concern about losing, it should be me, right? It's like, oh, maybe the judges were biased or something like that, or maybe a little conservative or something like that, you know? But when they lose, they're like, oh, the judges are corrupt and blah, blah, blah. Whatever, man, you know? Well, this is the problem. I said, you know, as I mentioned, there hasn't been that much media attention about our win, so it can't have a huge effect. Society hasn't heard about it. So unfortunately, I don't know if it has had a huge effect. Hopefully, maybe because we can show the film more freely now, that will affect society more. But winning the lawsuit didn't necessarily, I think, affect that much.
I think that's the trait of media in Japan. They always want to show something the right wingers want to show to the audience.
Yeah.
In this case, they must not show your case that you won.
Probably, yeah.
Anyway, you won the lawsuit. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So is your movie coming out again in Japan?
Yeah, we're talking to some theaters in some of the major cities in Japan, and we're gonna show probably in some of the theaters, and also we will probably distribute it online in Japan. So in Korea, it was already online many. Finally, we're gonna probably release it online in Japan so more people can see it. That'll be great too.
You are Japanese American, but you feel
I feel Japanese and American.
both, yeah. But you have chosen to be in Japan after your movie came out.
Yeah.
Is there something you didn't realize before you came to Japan from America?
You mean like when I first came to Japan?
Started living in Japan.
Yeah.
Visiting and living a totally different era, right?
Right. The first time I started living in Japan was study abroad in 2003, I guess, in Hiroshima. What I noticed was, and it hasn't changed since 2003, it's still the same. What I noticed is that the college students, the university students, are like totally non-political. In the US, you have a lot of student groups and a lot of flyers everywhere talking about all these political issues.
Same in Korea, yeah.
Yeah, you know, all these things. But in Japanese universities, you don't see anything.
Then what
And-
are they
and, like-
talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Drinking game?
Actually, you know, it's a common sort of understanding that Japanese students in college mostly party because high school is really difficult, but then, you know, college, they get to enjoy their life or something like that. But the problem is that this is the time usually in most people's lives where they learn about all these different new ideas, politics and all these things, but most campuses in Japan, you will not see political things on, you know, flyers or student groups. Even my university, Sophia University in Tokyo, when I was a master's student, you weren't allowed to post anything that was like political.
Did you try to talk about that to your friends?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
What's it say?
They consider themselves what they call in Japan non-poly. They say non-pori. Non-pori means like not political. The thing is that they are political actually. And the reason why I say that is like, they'll say, oh, I'm non-pori. I don't really think about it.
But
Because of ijime?
No. The thing is that if you ask them about the comfort women issue or something like that, right? Then they'll say, oh, that's a lie. But they think that is not political. They don't think that's political. They think that's just center, you know? That's not right wing, that's not left wing. They just think that's center. And the reason why is because, you know, the mainstream media in Japan just says that kind of narrative that the comfort women are lying and stuff like that. So they don't think that's political, but that's like very highly political to have that stance. So they say, oh, I'm not political, I'm center. But in Japan, when you say center, it's actually right, you know?
Really?
Yeah, mainstream is right, to the right. But that's the thing is they don't realize that.
Because of education system?
Well, there's nobody talking about it. There's nobody there to challenge them. There's nobody on campus to say, hey, let's talk about or debate about this or something like that. You know, they're not doing that really. I mean, I'm sure there are students who are very aware, but in general, compared to like campuses probably in Korea or in the US, they're way less politically aware. And that was really surprising to me when I came to Japan. I mean, also in the general society or like in society in Japan, there's no music that is political. There's no comedy that's like political. I don't know. Do you guys have that in Korea? Do you guys have political comedy?
You have a political comedy, yes.
But that doesn't happen in Japan. It really doesn't happen.
What if there is a comedy, something like that in Japan happening, then is he gonna get trouble?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like, there was a guy who was a really famous comedian. He was in a comedian group, you know, and they did a really political show, 5-minute thing or whatever. And it was on mainstream TV and stuff. And it was really popular, but I don't know, since then, I think
maybe
he didn't disappear, but maybe like they ask him not to do that kind of stuff later. Or they like, in the future, they say like, if you keep doing that, we can't book you or something like that, you know? So that's the danger of it, right? So, and you know, with political music or something, the record label probably won't even distribute your music if they think it's political or something like that in Japan.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I saw the Twitter mention that you posted up about the Nazi host.
Oh, in Japan, yeah.
I was very impressed by your comments and
Oh, okay.
I like that actually. I could see a lot of Japanese comments at the same time. Ignorance and stupidity are a big problem in Japan. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's a problem everywhere, but
yeah. True.
that is a very good example of why, if you don't know the history, that you can make really dumb mistakes. Obviously, maybe these guys don't even know what Nazism is or the Holocaust or whatever, and so they just think, oh, this sign looks cool, this symbol looks cool, like make a whole host club about this. And it's just like, do you realize that that symbol and the whole, Nazism is about killing millions and millions of people, and they don't even realize that because they don't know the history, right? So if they knew the history, they wouldn't make those stupid mistakes, and it's the same thing like with the comfort women issue or forced labor in Korea. If Japanese people knew about these things, they wouldn't say, insensitive things to Korean people. This is the problem. This is the problem with like young people who don't know history, is that they make these really embarrassing mistakes. It's not just about pissing off those people, but it can also make them look really, really stupid and embarrassing in the international world, especially since everything's online now. Yeah, I think it's important that Japanese people know their history as well. And that's part of the reason why I made Shusenjo. It's like, although people say like, oh, you hate Japan, and it's like, no. I like Japanese people, and I want them to know their history so they don't make stupid mistakes or say stupid things or like offend, Korean or Chinese people in the future. It's about education.
So, what is your next movie about?
Secret. It's going to be a political issue for sure, but I'm keeping the topic a little secret for now. I think it will be related to Korea too, like Korea, Japan also.
Oh, okay.
Again.
Okay. So how is it going with your next movie?
After
all that lawsuit.
It's slow because of the lawsuit. It's slow because of Corona. Corona makes everything slower. So I'm working on the film, but also, I'm also doing other projects as well, helping with other people's stuff and just advising on things. And
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it'll take some time, but hopefully I can get it out.
But since your movie came out, it's been a while, so I'm just waiting for the.
Sorry, I work very slow. I'm not like YouTubers. YouTubers are like cranking it out every week and stuff like that. It's really impressive. You guys work so hard in that way. But for me, it's more of like a slow process. Hopefully, I can make something good in the end. But it's a gamble, really.
Gamble, okay.
I
would say it's challenge.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge, and the reason why I say it's a gamble is because with documentary filmmaking, you can't control anything. Right? You can only get what's happening, and sometimes you ask for interviews and people say no, and it's a hard sort of process because you can have like a sort of idea as to like who you want to interview and like what you want to capture on camera, but what if nothing's happening? What if that person who you want to interview says, no, I don't want to do an interview? Then it's like, oh shit, what do I do now?
Okay. Do you have any word to my audience?
I do think actually somebody watched the older video, donated me a little bit of money, they saw your video and they said, oh, I want to donate some money to you. And so they donated me some money. So yeah, like that was awesome. Yeah, that was really cool. I appreciate, all the support, and, you don't have to give me money, but if you go see the film or tell your friend about the film or tweet about it or whatever, then that's, much appreciated. Or if you follow me on Instagram, that's like also appreciated or whatever.
But yeah, Instagram is in English.
I know.
Yeah, it's not really for Koreans, and yeah, it's a problem because like a lot of the people who see my film and like my film are like Japanese or Korean people, but my Twitter and my Instagram are mostly in English. That's what's keeping my follower numbers down, I guess. But I often post about like racism in America and stuff like that, or just things that are happening in my life, with the film and stuff. If you want to follow that, you can see that.
Okay, it was a good time to talk with you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for watching. I hope you stay tuned for the next film. And also, if you want to watch Shusenjo again in Korea, I think it's available online. And hopefully we can talk again.
네, 오늘 영상 여기까지입니다. 오늘 인터뷰의 한 줄평, 정의는 승리한다 입니다. 아직 완전히 끝난 건 아니지만 이 승리가 굉장히 큰 것을 의미한다는 사실은 저도 알고 여러분들도 알고 계실 겁니다. 힘들게 끝까지 싸우고 계시는 영화 감독 미키 데자키 감독님께 응원해 주실 분들은 영화 주전장을 구매하셔서 시청해 주시면 그분께 큰 힘이 되니까요. 아직 시청하지 않으신 분들은 지금 당장 이 영화를 구매하셔서 시청해 주시기 바랍니다. 네, 오늘 영상 여기까지입니다. 저는 다음 시간에 더 의미있고 더 알차고 재밌는 영상으로 돌아오도록 하겠습니다. 지금까지 시쿤이었습니다. 감사합니다.